What's up, everyone? Champ Ben's back again with another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC 305, Dricus Du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Doesn't get much better than this. Very, very, very excited for this card. Pay-per-views pretty much almost always deliver, and we are so ready. I am very excited for this card. I have a lot of bets on this card. Let's get into it. But as always, first, let's get into the bets last week. I should have prepared this beforehand, but this is easy. Share. And we're good. Last week, we're back. We're so back. Usage of law pulled through. I was super duper confident in the guy to win. Man, did he pull through for me. Thank you, Zalal. Needed that after like a rough skid, so very happy about that. And I also needed Barlow to win. That was dicey. I didn't put as much on Barlow because the odds didn't feel right to me, but it's like I still want to bet Barlow because he was the guy I was most confident in besides that. And I also ended up betting this fight to go towards the end because I know a lot of people were saying that fight could end in the distance. It's like it's gonna go long. I think got freaky for moments, but ended up hitting. And I also bet Kianzad plus 3.5. Kianzad let me down because I talked with a lot of confidence about her in my video. So let's go through each one of these ones that I bet. First off with what started on the card. Luciano started on the card. Good fight. It was a pretty good fight. I don't know what Alan Carr was really trying to do, trying to stand up with Luciano. She was getting pieced up, and Luciano had her way. She did whatever the hell she wanted. Easy win for Luciano. Good win. I don't really have much more to say than that. Can't take too much because Alan Carr, usually someone who wrestles, didn't even really try to do that much. Anyways, usage of law. Incredible performance. I love the defense he showed on the feet because Jarno Aaron's is no bum on the feet. He's by no means a bum. He's good. He's good on the feet, and he can strike without a doubt. And Yusuf Allah's defense, he just wasn't getting hit. He's moved out of the way, no problem. Like if he's getting hit, it's on the shoulder, nothing clean. It was fantastic stuff. The leg kicks were there, but he initiated the grappling like I ended up wanting him to do. Beautiful work from Zalal. And once that grappling is working, Jarno Aaron's is not going to have anything. And like Zalal is just another level in that department. And he showed it. I also bet minus 3.5 on Zalal. I didn't put too much on it, but I was like, he's going to dominate this fight, in my opinion. And he got done in round one. Beautiful, like I think it was a rear naked choke. Standing rear naked choke. Well, he had the back, but you know what I mean. Jarno Aaron's is standing up. Great performance by Zalal. That was a great bet on my part. I'm glad I got in at minus 250. Next up, I bet Panny Kianzad plus 3.5. I thought the fight would be at least close. I never was able to get to a Panny Kianzad bet straight up. I was hoping the odds would be better. I thought she would be live, and in a way, I guess you could say she was live, but in all honesty, Karol Rosa was dominated. The leg kicks were massive for her. You could tell Panny Kianzad's legs were kind of fried. Panny was definitely still landing and stuff like that, which was good to see. Like that, some of that stuff was definitely when my breakdown was still there, but it's just like Karol was just too much. The volume was too much. I didn't think the volume would be like as effective in that. The leg kicks were everything this fight. And also in round 3, Karol Rosa smartened up. Honestly, like I was like round 1 and 2 is like Panny's a veteran. She's gonna survive this and she's gonna keep going, and she's gonna bring it back in like round 3 and like get this plus 3.5 at least. But Karol Rosa grew a brain for once, which is like surprising. It's actually a good thing to see. She like grappled a lot more. She tried to put Panny Kianzad in the clinch, which is definitely Panny Kianzad's weakness, like any sort of wrestling. And great work by Karol Rosa. She looked the best she's ever looked in like the UFC, in my opinion, in that fight. So props to her. Penny Kiana's not necessarily a bum. And if you're like willing to stand it with her, she's not going to be easy to beat. So impressive performance by Cara Rosa. Next fight that I had a bet on, Danny Barlow. Didn't go too crazy on this, and I'm, in retrospect, looking how Barlow fought, very happy it did, because that was not a good performance from Barlow. He did not look good. He did not look that good. I thought he won rounds 1 and 2, but like I think there's a legit argument. Veretetnikov could have won rounds 2 and 3. The one judge who gave round 1 to Veretetnikov, what the hell are you doing? You did not win round 1. It's 30. You can't do that. It's 29-28 either way. It's 29-28 either way. Round 1 was clear. Round 3 was clear. No ifs, ands, or buts. It all came down to round 2. It just felt like Barlow was more impactful with shots, but the shot selection, not necessarily shot selection. It's more like the volume was just not there. And I can sort of get it. Barlow does hit hard, and he's okay with not necessarily. I don't need to push a pace. I don't need to force things, which I do in a way I do like, but I felt like he could have been able to do that more in this fight, and it felt just way too close. The margins were way too close, and it was worrisome. So that's what ended up happening. Yeah, Barlow won, but stock has definitely dropped down. Although because of that, I bet you like blinds on him are going to be a lot more palatable in the future. So I think in a way that's a good thing. But otherwise, let's go through the rest of this card. I went 5 for 10. I didn't do great picks wise. I did great bets wise, which honestly is the most important thing for me. But I do want to do good on picks though. So yeah, not great. Denise looked great. I love the footwork of him. Carl Williams didn't really shoot takedowns, which I was pretty surprised by. I wasn't like super confident Carl Williams. It's like I knew he can like mess this up. When he did end up shooting takedowns, he got them. It's like interesting. I kind of thought he would have done it sooner, but it is what it is. Good win by Denise. The footwork was nice, and he did enough damage to win that fight for sure. Talked about that one. I picked Gregorio to win by KO round 1. This dude Gregorio is not good. He's trash. In my eyes, I'm sorry to say, the cardio is horrible. He hurt Kazama really bad in the second. Hurt him bad. He could have got a stoppage, but Herzog let it keep going. He gassed himself out completely, and then once the triangle was sunk in by Kazama, right after he gassed out, tapped right away. I mean, what is there to say? Like, that's rough. This is supposed to be a layup. This is like the second layup, like supposed layup they gave this guy. Just not there. So that was not good for Gregorio. Llano Santos beat Chelsea Chandler. Chelsea Chandler didn't even try going for takedowns that often. I was like, what are you doing? You're not winning this fight against Llano Santos on the feet. You're fighting her fight. What are you doing? Yana looked the best she's looked in a while. She did look like she was in better shape in this fight, like going into this one. I totally get that. Chelsea didn't try getting into the ground, and it's like I don't want to pick Chandler if she's gonna try and stand and bang with girls. I want her to get girls down, grounded pound. That's what you got to do if you want to win. If you're Chelsea Chandler, because that's the best thing. Best asset she has. Not great on the ground. Or not great on the feet, but like on the ground, she's okay because she's a big body, and if she's on top, she's gonna do good work. Yeah, it's great win by Yana. Showed levels really. Chelsea Chandler missing weight. It's a horrible look. I think she's cut from the UFC. It would have been a cut from the UFC, win or loss, because of the weight cut miss. It is what it is. Chris Gutierrez. Quang Lee's by no means is like bad at all. So like I don't think this is like a bad like winning 29-28 because Quang Lee was able to win round 2. But Chris Gutierrez, he's just better at this point. And I think like on short notice he's tough to fight, plan, and prepare for. On like full notice, Quang Lee, this would have been probably a closer fight, a more interesting fight, and could have went either way. But the leg kicks, the range, distance, the volume. Chris Gutierrez, the feints he does makes it so hard for you to like time him and get to him. So, and that's exactly what happened here. So, great win from Chris Gutierrez. Talked about that one. I switched. I did say in the comment I switched last moment to Damon Jackson against Chepi Mariscal. I said in the comment. I shouldn't have changed it. I shouldn't have changed it. Everything I said in the video was exactly right. Other than like I thought there was chances he wouldn't do so great in the grappling. He did great in the wrestling. I changed it because of the weight miss. I thought he looked awful, and it's like one of those weight misses where it's like, I'm gone. Bye bye. Great win by Chepe. He kind of neutralized Damon Jackson. He fought Damon Jackson's game. So great win by Chepe. The Chepe fade still has not hit. It will hit eventually. Hopefully they give him some nightmare matchup next, and I can bet against him, so I can feel right for once. And Sergey Spivak, great submission win in round 1, armbar off back at heavyweight. Impressive as hell, because heavyweights don't do that. I like this takedown Spivak got early. He got reversed though by Tybura, was put on his back, and I mean, got the submission. It was beautiful from Spivak. Showed improvements on the ground, I guess. Although it's like, I never really was questioning his ground game to begin with. So, yeah, good one from Spivak. You like to see that. So, yeah, that's it for our last card. Now let's get into the picks for this one. I'm very excited for this card. Let's go get started. We have Stuart Nickel versus Jesus Aguilar. This is Nickel's debut here in Australia, which is exciting, of course. And I do like his style. I do think he's gonna get a win. I think I'm gonna go sub round 1. I think TKO. I love this guy's grappling. I think it's really good wrestling. I think he can get Jesus Aguilar down on the ground. Jesus had a really close fight with Mendonça. Arguably could have lost that one. It was close. I'm not gonna act like it's like a robbery by any means. It was close, but I think Stewart's really good. I think he's on his debut here in Australia, being the bigger guy. I think he's gonna come in and look great and have a great performance. I'm tempted to bet him. I am tempted to bet him. We'll see where the line is. -225. Oh, we'll see. I think I'm gonna bet him, but nothing confirmed for sure. Yeah, I think he'll get a takedown and do great work on the ground. Kenan Song versus Ricky Glenn. This is sad. Like, Ricky Glenn at 170. I think he's just here for a paycheck. Just round 1 finish from Song Kenan. Song Kenan can still crack. And I have not liked anything that Ricky Glenn has shown as of late, in the recent times. How long was that Grant Dawson? It's almost 3 years ago now. He's looked so slow since. And Song Kenan, he's lost to Jose. I think Jose is pretty good. Beat Bedoya. I don't think Bedoya is that good. Lost to Gary. Not bad at all. Gary's that dude. Max Griffin is still good. Potter. I'm tempted to bet Song Kenan because I really do think he wins this one, but like something about Song Kenan is like, gives me like a sour taste in my mouth. The odds have come down. He's not -230 anymore, and Bovada he's -172. So it's getting more appetizing. We'll see. I do think Ricky Glenn's here for a paycheck, and he's pretty much gone after this, and him going up 170 is basically that kind of thing. So that's ultimately why I'm going Kenan Song to win this fight. I guess China is close to Australia. That's probably why they want Kenan Song in this card. If you look at that perspective, I think Kenan Song is the pick. Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes has the chance to do something really, really funny. But it's going to be Tom Nolan KO round 1. I remember last time Tom Nolan fought, I went with like a sub. I was like, I wanted to be a little cheeky. I think in front of the Australian crowd, he's not gonna go first. He's gonna try and knock this dude out bad. Alex Reyes, 37 years of age. It's not look good. He's not been looking like good at all. Not that Tom Nolan's been looking that great. At least he's still young. Still young, making improvements. Getting knocked down by Victor Martinez is a red flag. So I don't think this guy's is not parlayable. He's not bettable. Just don't do that. You're better off betting an under. Even at I'd rather bet an under than Tom Nolan, like straight up, I should say, money line. But like even then, I'm not even sure if I want to do that much because those numbers are just disgusting. Like actually, what is the under on this fight? It's like under 1.5, minus 325. It probably hits. It probably does hit, but it's just nasty. But it's better than just playing this dude up front. Probably, it's my ass. From a betting perspective, Tom Nolan should nuke this dude though. I'm pretty sure about this. Jack Jenkins, Jack Jenkins, my boy. I love this guy versus Herbert Burns. I love Herbert Burns too. I took a picture with him at a PFL event. Love the guy as well. Very nice guy. Gotta shout him out. This is not because I hate Herbert Burns, but I love me some Jack Jenkins. I think it's a finish in the second. It's as Herbert Burns always loses in the second. I love the fight IQ of Jack Jenkins. Them leg kicks. He's one of the best leg kickers in the UFC. He just is. He breaks people's legs. I love him on the feet. I don't think he's going to get taken down. I think he does have good takedown defense for the most part. Especially, I think, after that Mariscal fight where he was winning. Although round 2, he wasn't able to do much because Chepi Mariscal was holding the defense. And that fight hurt my soul. I think he's probably worked on like defending judo and defending takedowns and stuff like that, especially after that Endless fight, of course, as well, which was close. I thought Jack Jenkins won that fight. I don't think people saying that fight wasn't like a robbery or anything in my eyes, because rounds 1 and 2, they were close. I lean Jack Jenkins to win both of those. So I don't think it's a robbery or anything like that. I'm just repeating myself. Jack Jenkins is freaking good. I love everything about him. I love the way he talks in interviews and it's like the mentality he has. This dude's a thinker, and there reminds me of like a Volkanovski who he trained with in the past. He's a younger guy in this matchup. I think Herbert Burns on short notice is just flying to Australia. That's just rough. I think you have to remember that this fight's in Perth, and that in Perth they have I have it written here somewhere. That's why I need to like take a look real quick. Fighters have got 8 less hours to rehydrate again, because just how the commission is. They have 8 less hours to rehydrate. That's gonna affect people, especially on like short notice, making like weight cuts, stuff like that. I think Herbert Burns is a chance to be like a victim of that, sadly. It's just all in Jack Jenkins' favor. I like Jack Jenkins to win this fight. If this gets out of round 1, it's all Jack Jenkins from there. And I don't think he's gonna get subbed or finished. So yeah, give me Jack Jenkins. Love me some Jack Jenkins. Next fight up the card, we have King Casey O'Neill, versus Luana Santos. Last week I talked about a bet I liked a lot. This card. This is the one. I've been hearing a lot of crazy things talked about in this fight. It's King Casey season. I think she gets it's probably going to be a decision, but I think KO round 3 is live. I love King Casey in this matchup. I legitimately think she covers Luana Santos everywhere. I think she has the better striking, which doesn't say a lot because Casey O'Neill's striking is not good. It's not good. I know that. I think she has the better wrestling. I think her grappling is at least just as good. I think she'll be fine on the ground. I don't think she has to worry about Luana Santos' BJJ. I think her clinch game is good. The judo throws are something to worry about, but again, I think people are just overrating judo at this point in MMA. Like, I get it when it comes to girls like Kayla Harrison or like Ronda Rousey, who are like the elite of the elite with judo. I think that makes sense. But for the most part, judo is just don't do too much. It's not doing the most. It's a good throw, gets you on the ground, but like we saw Dione Barboza versus Miranda Maverick. Coincidentally, Barboza trains with Luana Santos. How that ended up going. Got a beautiful judo takedown, but Miranda Maverick just worked, got on top. Great stuff. Casey O'Neill can do exactly that exact same thing if she gets judo thrown. And I don't even think she's probably going to get judo thrown. I do like something I really like that I saw for Casey O'Neill, switch camps. Switch from Extreme Couture to Fight Ready. And I think that's a great thing. Why do I think that's a great thing? Because Extreme Couture has ruined Casey O'Neill. Whoever at that gym who told her, Casey O'Neill, you should become a striker. You should be a full-on striker and forget the wrestling. When the wrestling is probably her best part of her game. What did you do to her? I don't even think Casey O'Neill is like all that great. It's more like Luana Santos is kind of overrated. And I'll get more into that. But at a gym like Fight Ready, I think she can make big improvements. Casey O'Neill came way too soon back from her injury. From her ACL tear, I think ACL injury. It's way too soon. She hasn't had enough time to rehab. After all this time now, she should be good to go. She should be good to go, and I think she's gonna show herself good in front of Australia. She lived in Australia for a long time. I think she was born in Scotland, lived there for 10 years, then moved to Australia and lived from then on there until she moved to Vegas when she started fighting. And now she's in Arizona. Ugh, a lot to get out of. I think that camp Fight Ready is gonna make Casey O'Neill better and make her like work better because she needed a change. She needed a change after those last few fights because she's fallen in love with the hands, and I do not like that. I do not like that for Casey O'Neill. But if it does turn out that she still loves the hands and still has the fighting, like the same skill set she had in Extreme Couture with her hand, like just stand up style as of recent her last two fights. I think she still wins this fight. I think she still wins this fight, even if that's the case. Because with Luana Santos, her wins are in the UFC. Casey O'Neill's wins aren't anything to talk about, like anything crazy. Antonina Shevchenko, Modafferi, Dobson, of the likes of them, those are not that good. They're not great wins by any means. I'd say like Antonina is probably the best one, maybe Roxy, and I'll get into that Roxy one because I've been hearing some crazy takes about that one. Who was Luana Santos beat? Juliana Miller, who was lighting her up early on, and then completely gassed herself out in like half of the first round, and then got beat because of that. Okay, tells me nothing. You beat Juliana Miller on the feet. Okay. Juliana Miller's best part of her game is her jiu-jitsu. It's the best part of her game. She didn't even try using it at all in that fight. And fair enough, Luana Santos does have good BJJ. I get that. But it's like, okay, you beat Juliana Miller, getting tagged up on the feet, and tagged her up a bunch on the feet in round one. With horrible striking technique, by the way. Just, oh my god, it's just bad. It's bad. I don't like her striking at all. I don't like it at all. So she beat her like that. Tells me nothing. Beat Stephanie Egger on short notice. So that, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. Missed weight by a bunch and held Egger against the fence a bunch. Judo throws, stuff like that, and it's impressive. I think that's her best one. It is up a weight class of 135. I think she was battling a disease and was able to make 125, kind of thing. But she gassed so bad in that fight, like horrible gassing, which was just not good to see. And against Edgar, who doesn't really like push a crazy pace, like that's Yikes, especially when you're going against Casey O'Neill, who does push a pace. She does throw a lot of volume. So it's like, makes you think, makes you think. Um, that is her best win on her resume in like the UFC. I will give her that. But is it a great win? Is it impressive? Is it really any much better than these ones? I don't really think so. I don't really think so. Um, yeah. Then we have Maria Agapova. We're talking about the same fighter was kicked out of gyms, doing tattoos for money because she's getting paid so little, doing like drugs and stuff like that, just fighting for money really at this point. Didn't really care about the results. She was gonna get cut pretty much likely anyways. And she took her down easy and subbed her. What does that tell me about Luana? It tells me nothing. Beating Agapova on the ground tells me nothing. And I think someone's gonna be like, but she knocked her down. She didn't knock her down. If you rewatch that, the positioning of Agapova, she's going like this with her feet forward, and she gets hit in the head, and she falls down. It's not ruled a knockdown on UFCstats.com because of that. She was really off balance and like just couldn't stand up because she was not postured well. She was completely out of position and fell down because of that. Again, she didn't drop her. So acting like this girl has like power, I think is ludicrous. I think it's ludicrous. And that Juliana Miller fight and that Maria Agapova fight do not tell us this. That does not tell me that. So I don't think this girl really has like crazy power or anything like that. I don't rate her striking at all. It's very loopy. It's not good at all. I think it's worse than Casey O'Neill striking. Casey O'Neill striking is dreadful. It's been dreadful, especially in those last two fights. But let's get into those last two fights that she lost. Jennifer Maia just had a great win in Invicta. Jennifer Maia is really good. Let's not act like she didn't win one round against Shevchenko, and like obviously one round, it's like that doesn't say much. But Jennifer Maia is not bad at all. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. She would beat Luana Santos easy. She would. Casey O'Neill was able to get one round off her in round 3 by pushing that pace. In a way that's a good thing, but like she didn't look that great in that fight. She definitely lost rounds 1 and 2. She came back from the ACL injury super quick. Not a great look from Casey O'Neill. But again, big step up in competition. That's a big step up in competition, while Luana Santos is a step down in competition. A big step down in competition. And I don't think Casey O'Neill has to worry about the striking. I think she can wrestle her. I think she can have success everywhere. Let's talk about Ariane Lipski, or Ariane De Silva, if you want to call her by her last name she has now. I've heard crazy takes about this fight too. Lipski, I bet Lipski in that fight. I was very confident in Lipski in that fight because Casey O'Neill on the feet is pretty dreadful. She's pretty dreadful on the feet, and Ariane Lipski, very good on the feet, and she hurt Casey O'Neill so bad in that fight, so bad in that fight. And again, I won't deny this. Casey O'Neill's striking defense, not that good at all. Not that good at all. But she does take shots pretty well. But with a girl like Ariane Lipski, you can't take shots like that. You just can't. She was able to take all the shots from Jennifer Maia, and I expect Luana Santos' power to be more like Jennifer Maia's power. Probably not even that, because she doesn't have technique. She doesn't have good technique. It's mostly loopy stuff. It's mostly loopy punches. The reason why Lipski got this armbar was because she hurt O'Neill so bad. It kind of should have been a TKO, to be honest, but she ended up getting an armbar, and Casey O'Neill had a tap. The ludicrous takes from people saying like, "Oh my God, Casey O'Neill has no grappling. She has no grappling. She got submitted by Lipski." Which, by the way, Lipski's is leveled up so much. She's improved her grappling tremendously under Amanda Nunes. It's just not true. It's just not true. Her grappling and wrestling is really good. And that's honestly the best part of her game. And it's like why it's been pretty frustrating watching her fight as a league because she's fallen in love with these hands. Don't do that anymore. But maybe in this fight, it might even be the best thing to do. Just fight her on the feet. Fight this girl on the feet. So I don't look at these losses as like that bad at all, especially when looking at Luana Santos, like her next matchup. Well, again, short notice. We're flying from Brazil, not Brazil. She's in Vegas. From Vegas to Australia. She didn't come that long ago to Australia. I should mention that. Off doing research. This is short notice. She just had a fight, to be fair, but again, you have to have the weight cut and that 8-hour thing with Perth, Australia. I think that matters, and I think in a fight she's done on short notice before, she gassed. I don't. If this fight goes long, I think she's definitely not winning round 3. She's definitely not winning round 3. I think probably plus 3.5. Casey O'Neill is probably safe. I bet you it's a sucky number though, but I think it's safe. I have a hard time seeing Luana Santos win this fight. How Casey O'Neill's a dog to me, insanity. I think it's insanity. I think those people at Fight Ready are gonna fix up Casey O'Neill pretty well. I think they'll make her a lot better. Fighting at home, so the crowd is gonna be oohing and awing what Casey O'Neill does, and they're gonna want Casey O'Neill to win. I don't think that affects judges, but I think the crowd noises has a chance to affect judges. I think Casey O'Neill is gonna have a good chance to get top time. I like her wrestling. I think the wrestling is gonna outdo the judo in this one. She's my biggest bet of the card. I love her in this fight. I think Casey O'Neill comes back and gets a win. Finally, after looking so bad in her last fights. I think this is a buy low spot on someone who was very highly touted before. I want to talk about this. I've heard some of the most ludicrous takes about this Roxanne Modafferi fight. Let me pull up something. I've been hearing from people, wow, she had a close fight with Roxanne Modafferi. What are you talking about? Do you remember that fight? You did not watch the fight. I'm convinced you did not watch the fight. Giving a round to Roxanne Modafferi is a robbery, is what I've heard. I've heard people say when like watching replays. You see the judges, it was a split decision because of this guy. This guy gave round 3 to Roxy. All of them did. Let's look at the media scores. 30-27 O'Neill across the board. And rightfully shows. It was clear as day. 30-27 Casey O'Neill. Let's look through some comments years ago when it happened. I was trying hard to score anything for Roxy, but couldn't manage. How a judge thought she won 2 rounds is beyond me. This might be the worst scorecard in UFC history. How can anyone score any round for Roxy? I love her, but all 3 rounds were abysmal. I'd like maybe you can score round 3, but really you probably can't. You really can't. This was clear as day, like Casey O'Neill. People just don't remember. They don't remember, and this is like complete recency bias. Complete recency bias that's against Casey O'Neill. It's wild. I love Casey O'Neill in this spot. She's 26 years of age. She's going to keep getting better. She's been in Australia for a lot longer as well. I do like that. She has metrics advantages in the reach. I love her in this fight. I think she's going to win this fight. The number has been going down on her. I think she's good. Even that minus money at like minus probably 150. I think that's a great price for her. Probably, yeah. I'd say about that. I love her in this fight. And if she didn't lose to Lipsky, I think she'd be like a pretty nice favorite, like minus 200. So I think keep that in mind. I love Casey in that fight. That's a long breakdown. Next fight up the card. Josh Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. This is a good fight. And this is an interesting one. I think it's kind of binary. But I'm going to go Culibao to win. TKO. Round 2. I think Culibao is going to win this fight on the feet. I do think this fight has a good chance to go to decision. There is definitely a possibility if this fight goes on the ground and Ricardo Ramos pursues a ground attack. I think he can absolutely do work on the ground with Culibao. He does give his back up a lot. I hope he's worked on that this fight camp, and that's not the case. But I think this is going to be a stand up fight for the most part, and I think Culibao is going to land the better shots. I think he can hurt Ramos, who has been kind of a quitter. I think it's going to be a TKO where it's like Ricardo Ramos holding his arms up like this, and he's just going to pretty much shell up, and that be it. I think Culibao's losses as of late, I think they're going to age like fine wine. Let's see where he lost to. Lerone Murphy. I think Lerone Murphy's a top 5 guy in that division already. I think he's already a top 5 guy in that division, like skill-wise. I take nothing away. Like, Culibao losing to him, so what? Danny Silva's really good. I think he's going to fight Dennis Bazooka next. I think he's going to beat Dennis Bazooka like, pretty easily. While we're looking at Ricardo Ramos in recent history, like not that Culibao's wins is recent are so great. Melsik is good. Choi, I think it's maybe not that great, but it was a great war. That was a great fight. He can show he can go to war and win wars. Shaylin Nurebeke, that's an okay win. But Ricardo Ramos's wins, Bellagio ages very well, long time ago. Zubaira losing to is not so great. Beating Danny Chavez, losing to Jourdain. Jourdain's good. Jourdain is good. Losing the guillotine, not the greatest. Losing to Julian Erosa by guillotine again, not the great. I'm tempted to pick sub because of the guillotine thing, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think Culibao's going to do that. I'd rather him fight this fight on the feet. I think this is going to be a fun fight on the feet, and I think Culibao's going to catch him and get a ground and pound finish, basically. So, yeah. I like Culibao here. I am tempted to bet him. I think, has the number gone down? It has. So we're getting into more bettable territory, and I'm definitely looking at Culibao. I think he's going to win this fight. And I like I said, I really like the competition he's lost to. I don't think he's had these fights were like not like super much blowout. Maybe the Lerone fight a little bit of a blowout, but not like complete blowouts. I think Culibao wins in Aussie territory. Junior Taffa versus Walter Walker. To be honest, this is insane. The 71% to 29%. But I gotta go Junior Taffa for the win. KO or decision? I'll go KO for the fun of it. Walter, I'm one of the people who picked Lukas Bresky to beat this guy who's not good. Walter Walker's not good, if I'm honest. 2 takedown cardio, Walter Walker. As long as you survive the 2 takedown cardios, you're good. Walter Walker doesn't do much other than take dudes down and be big. I think Junior Taffa is going to have a lot more output. His takedown defense is not really the problem necessarily. If we look at UFC stats real quick, which I'll do right now, let's take a quick look at this one, if the website would load. But like, he's only been taken down by 2 of these guys right here. Mo Usman, who's a pretty alright wrestler. Sucks, obviously, but yeah. And DeLima, which was literally like 1 day's notice. I don't take too much from that. Let's go over this. His takedown defense is 81%. Because if I remember correctly, he stuffed how many takedowns from Mo Usman? He stopped 10 takedowns and he got taken down 2 times. And obviously, I don't think the takedown defense is the problem with Junior Taffa. The get-up game is the problem with Junior Taffa. The get-up game is not good. But I think if he can keep Walter Walker off, Walter Walker is a big dude, and I think he's very, very hittable. And if you're hittable against a guy like Junior Taffa, you can get hurt. And I think this fight gets better for Taffa the more the fight goes, because I think Walter Walker is just a complete gas bag. He gasses bad. He's been looking in better shape, to be fair, Walter Walker, but I don't like anything from Walter. He got taken down by DeLima also as well. But like, that's not why he lost that fight for the most part. It was the leg kicks that killed Junior Taffa. The leg kicks killed Junior Taffa, and he couldn't do anything because of it. And again, 1 day's notice. He's preparing for Carl Williams. He's preparing for takedowns that fight, but that fight was still a while away. He's a G for stepping up to do that. I think in Australia, I think he's going to win this fight. in Perth, Australia. I don't like the betting line now. Would I have bet it if it was still plus money? It used to be plus money. It's not plus money anymore. Maybe it's a heavyweight fight. It's not something I'm super interested in getting into. Yeah, I like Junior Top for the win. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Walter Walker on the ground either, because I think Junior Taffa can land big shots on the ground, on the feet. Then Walter Walker takes him down, holds him, and not throw any damage and not win the round. I think that's like pretty live to happen here. And I think as the fight goes on, I think it leans in Junior Taffa's way. So give me Junior Taffa for the win. Next we have the card. Li Jingliang, the Leech versus Carlos Prates. I'm so happy the Leech is back. I'm very, very disappointed to see Li Jingliang is not going to be at the press conference. I want to see him in a suit. This is a very interesting fight. I think Leech is getting counted out a little bit too much. I am going to go Prates, but I'm going to go decision. I don't think Leech is going to get finished. I think Leech is super durable, and I think that's still going to be the case here. The injuries for Leech though it's hard to ignore, and it's hard to pick him because of that. If I'm betting this fight, I'm looking at it over though. I do think Leech is live, especially if he goes to decision, because Leech, I do think he has better output. Prates has not been the best minute winner. There's a good moment winner, and I think because of moments he can win like big moments in this fight and win a decision off that, and Leech still be durable. It is a worry that he's 36 years of age. He's been gone for almost 2 years now. Again, love you, Leech. Hope you win. I'll be happy to get this one wrong. Reach advantage, all Prates. Fighting Nerds is on a roll. I'm not putting that too much stock into that, but should say that. I think Prates is just gonna hit the better shots over distance and time and win like that. So I don't really have much to say about that. If I do bet something, it's an over. Just curious, what are the odds on an over? Plus 120 on 2.5. Tempting me. You're tempting me. So we'll see. I like that. Next, we have the card. Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I like Tai Tuivasa to win by first round KO. I'm not too crazy about Jairzinho. I picked him to beat Shamil Gaziev. I'm not some like, oh man, he beat Gaziev. No way, he's that dude, Jairzinho. I think this is a pretty close fight on the feet. I know Jairzinho's got good like striking credentials in kickboxing. I think at home Ty's gonna get it done. He's been showing he's been working a lot more as of late, especially on his Instagram. He's posted a lot more fight stuff than like he has in the past, which I think is a good thing. I'm not giving up on Ty, and at these odds also plus 180, and I think it might even go more. Tempting me. I wouldn't put too much on Ty, don't get me wrong, but I think Ty's gonna go for it. I like his leg kicks. I like his clinch game. Jairzinho has basically been a low volume guy for the most part over the years, with the exception of his last fight. I don't think that's gonna be. I think he's gonna revert back to that, his way of the past, here and again. I think Ty's gonna land a better shot. I think he can land a big shot and finish Jairzinho Rozenstruik in home. Well, not home, cause Sydney, but you know what I mean. Australia. I think Tai Tuivasa finally gets a win again. I like the dog shot. Next fight up the card: Mateus Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. This is Gamrot, probably by decision. I think Sub is live, even in like round one. I think Sub is live, but I'd probably decision. I think this is like going to be one of the first times we see Gamrot win a clean decision, and with that, I mean he's not going to get knocked down by something random at like one point in the fight. I don't like this matchup for Hooker. We've seen him get manhandled on the ground before and like be put in bad position. Again, even against Claudio Puelles, where he's like willing to go ahead and fight that battle on the ground and got his leg torn apart. He still won that fight. He looked great in that fight. Claudio's not that good. Mateus Gamrot's on another level on the ground. His wrestling is top notch. I love Mateus Gamrot, and I do think Mateus Gamrot has a chance to beat a guy like Islam. I think he does have that chance. His boxing is super underrated. I don't want him to use that in this fight because I think it's dangerous here against Dan Hooker. But he's gonna wrestle. He's gonna wrestle Dan Hooker, and I think he's gonna have a lot of success there. I'm interested in minus 3.5 on not Dan Hooker. God no, he's plus 3.5. I'm interested in minus 3.5 on Gamrot. I think he's, and we've seen in the past like Gamrot get knocked down and still win rounds. So I'm willing to play that, and I think the odds on it I checked earlier. It was like minus 125 on DraftKings. Hopefully, like, it opens up to something good on Bovada, or otherwise I'll just bet on DraftKings. I think Gamrot dominates. I think he gets a 30-27 at least. And I also want to mention this one thing that I like, this misconception about Gamrot. His style is not conducive to winning rounds. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case at all, because he does do damage when you get to the ground. He's relentless with his pace and his wrestling. And he does land damage. There's a reason why he's winning these fights still and not losing them. Gamrot's good on the ground, and he's good at doing damage. Gamrot's not like one of these lay and pray wrestlers necessarily. Like, yes, he relies heavily on wrestling, and he wants to be on top of you no matter what. In that sense, yes, but he does damage. And he wins rounds clearly. Very, for the most part, besides when he gets knocked down. I'm taking this chances. I don't think this is going to be the time he gets knocked down. This is the one time he doesn't get knocked down. I'm willing to put money on it. So I like Gamrot to win this fight a lot. Next fight up the card, Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg. Oof. I think it's Steve Erceg's season. I think he's going to get a sub in round 2. I love Steve Erceg. I picked him against Pantoja. I thought he could have won that fight. It was close. I can understand giving it to Pantoja. I thought he won. I thought Erceg won rounds 2, 4, and 5, if I remember correctly. I know a lot of people are going to bring up, but Erceg, he's so dumb. He had bad fight IQ, and he shot on Pantoja in round 5. Pantoja was not going to win that fight if he kept it on the feet. Pantoja was going to shoot anyways. He's going to shoot at any time. Steve Erceg wanted to be the first one to shoot. And honestly, I like that. If I'm honest. I don't think that's bad fight IQ at all. I think he's going to look bad. It's like, that's what a stupid decision. I don't necessarily think so. And Erceg has good wrestling, and I like that he trusts his wrestling enough to do that against Pantoja. I think he's going to be able to out-grapple Kai Kara-France. I think he can have success on the feet against Kai Kara-France. This dude, Steve Erceg, is incredible. I love that the odds have come down on him, even though I think people have been betting him up again. I love Steve Erceg. On the feet, his boxing is just a thing of beauty. To have that close to a fight with Pantoja. Pantoja's no joke. He is the best in the division for a reason. I don't want to take anything away, and I've never been too high on Kai Kara-France, to be quite honest. I've never been too high on Kai Kara-France. I bet against him against Amir Albazi. I bet Brandon Moreno will beat him. I bet Askar Askarov to beat him, and honestly, I thought Askar Askarov won that fight. Did I pick Cody? No, I didn't pick Cody to win that fight. And I think I did pick Kai at that fight. I still like Kai. Nah, I didn't even, not that, because it was the Roy Val fight. I was like, okay, I like this guy Roy Val. Kai Kara-France, I don't know so much about, but he won this Amir Albazi fight. I'm not gonna. I have the Amir Albazi profile picture for this YouTube channel. Good old Amir Albazi, the meme himself in my eyes. I like me some Amir Albazi. I bet on him pretty heavy in that fight. That was freaking lucky. I'll take it. How a judge gave Amir Albazi round 4 in that fight is ludicrous. But round 3 did happen. I think Steve Erceg, he's a massive guy for this division. I think he's a big guy. I love his wrestling credentials. And like I said, to have that success with Pantoja, come back from that. Now fighting at home. He's from Perth, Western Australia. Now we're fighting in Perth, Western. I think he's going to show up for the fans. I think he gets it done. So I love Steve Erceg in this fight, and I bet him. I think the money line's great. Dricus Du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya. This is a great fight. This is 50-50 now. This is 49. This is 51% Izzy, 49 Du Plessis not too long ago. I'm going with Dricus Du Plessis to get a finish in round 4 or round 3. I mean, honestly, decision. I don't think decision's a bad shot either. Because credit to Adesanya, he is tough as nails. He is tough as nails. So I totally understand. I think decision's very possible too. I'm gonna go. Dricus Du Plessis said gonna get a KO round 3. I'm gonna choose to believe him here. I'm not super confident method, of course, but I think Dricus is gonna win this fight. But I'm not ultra confident. But I like the number. I had to play it. I did bet Dricus Du Plessis at plus money at I think plus 115 as well as no just plus 115. But I had him in like a parlay for okay plus 115 for the most part. I think Dricus. I love how Dricus always comes in with a different game plan every fight, and I think that can cause problems for Israel Adesanya. I'm banking on Dricus being able to tank the shots from Izzy, being able to pressure, and being able to take down Izzy. The reason why I have belief that he can take down Izzy, even though Izzy does have great takedown defense, can't take away from Adesanya. Dricus is able to take down Strickland, which so impressive because Strickland is so hard to take down. He took him down multiple times. I think that's impressive. He's more in his prime. Not that it matters too much in middleweight. I've heard some people say, "Oh, the 35-year-old Kurt." This is not a thing in middleweight and above. That's not a thing. It's welterweight and below. That's when we could talk about 35-year-old curse or whatever. Even though Bilal just broke it, but whatever. I like what I've been hearing from Dricus. Like, oh, we're talking about challenger Izzy. What about champion Dricus? Like that kind of thing. I like that. I think that he can have a lot of success on the ground. And the best part of Du Plessis' game is that he tires himself out. But in that process to get himself tired, he gets you tired. And he trusts in his ability so much that he believes in him. How he fights tired is better than how you fight tired. And he carries power throughout the rounds. He hits hard, hits like a truck. And Izzy's got to respect that. Izzy, of course, can put you out. He put out Pereira. Impressive. I don't think Pereira's shin was the best at 185, though, to be fair. I mean, honestly, yeah, literally all these fights I picked Izzy in. The only fight in like recent memory I didn't pick Israel Adesanya in was against Blachowicz. Because I was like 205. I think that's gonna be tough for Izzy, and it was. I think Du Plessis can like create a nice game plan and really make Adesanya work and get him tired and win while tired. You know what? Yeah, no, round 3. I'll trust Dricus, but I kind of want to go round 4 as well. Let's make round 3, round 4, round 4, or decision. Let's say that. I think Dricus is going to be able to land big shots. I think he might have a lot of trouble early. Don't get me wrong. I do think that's very possible. I think he can build into the fight and win like that. So, give me Dricus Du Plessis to win. He's pick him now, and honestly, I'd rather play him at dog odds than pick him. So I kind of don't like that betting wise, but yeah, I think Dricus will win. But honestly, if you want in on Dricus, I think a live bet would not be bad at all. So yeah, let's go through this again real quick. I like Stuart Nickel to go ahead and win this fight. I think his grappling is just gonna be way better and too much for Jesus Aguilar. Kenan Song, I think Ricky Glenn's out of this game now. I think Kenan Song is going to win this fight. Tom Nolan, just a layup. What more is there to say? Jack Jenkins, I think he's going to keep himself safe in round 1. Put a finish to Herbert Burns. Casey O'Neill, the king. King will rise up again by low spot. I love Casey to win this fight. I think she's better everywhere. I think she can get a finish towards the end of the fight. I like Culibao to win this fight. I'm expecting it to be on the feet. And I think Culibao can hurt Ramos and get a finish with Ramos kind of quitting because he's shutting up. I like Junior Taffa to win. I'm not a fan of Walter Walker's cardio. I don't think his takedowns are so great, and he's just very, very hittable. And against a guy like Junior Taffa, I think he does carry that power as the fight goes on. I think Junior Taffa is going to be able to catch him. I like Prates. I'm not crazy about Li Jingliang off that bad injury, bad spinal injury, back injury. I think Prates wins a decision. I think this fight probably does go like over. Probably goes to distance. Don't call me on distance, but I think it will go over. Um, yeah, I like Ty to win. I'm not. I think Jairzinho is gonna revert back to his like be more safe kind of style, but I think he's gonna bite him in the butt against Tai Tuivasa. He's gonna swing, and I think he's gonna land first. So yeah, I like Gamrot. I think he's gonna 30-27 hooker. I think he's gonna be able to get takedowns and do well, and not get hurt. I like Urseg. I love his grappling advantage here. I think he can compete on the feet as well. Maybe not as fast as Kai Kara France, but he picks shots so well, and he's just a much bigger guy, massive for flyweight. I just had a crazy close fight with Pantoja. I think he's ready to perform in front of his home. And Dricus Du Plessis, I think he can make Israel Adesanya tired, which is kind of crazy because I know he does have a good cardio. I think again I'm tired. I think he can get takedowns. I think he can land big power shots on Israel Adesanya. So those are my picks for this card. Very excited for UFC 305. Got massive bets on this card. The bets currently have right now Dricus Du Plessis, Steve Urseg, Mateus Gamrot. Currently, Casey O'Neill, Jack Jenkins, but in like parlays. Although I do have one because I'm a massive Jack Jenkins fan, so I have like one was like I make $1 for the fun of it, but I have him in parlays when at a better odds, not minus 950 now. Disgusting. Although even then, low key, there might still be value, but Jack Jenkins I like a lot to win. That's it. That's it for the breakdown. You can check me out at bettingme.tips on Champ Bets. Champ Bets on bettingme.tips. You can also check me out my website, champbetsmma.com. And yeah, very excited for this card. Let's go King Casey O'Neill. Really banking on her to go ahead, make a break comeback, go strong. Let's go. Ready. Thank you for watching.